my live stream. Welcome back to my WWE WrestleMania 41 Night 1 review. I'm going to do a live stream. Now, the show's not over, but I think we're about to get to the main event. I want to start early to see how many subscribers can I get, how many views can I get. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section what y'all think about this video. Now we are gonna go through the entire chart. WrestleMania has been pretty good so far. WrestleMania is in the books. Now this is what it looked like. Here's what it looked like. My video is sponsored by Salamat the Sound Off, JD from New York, Lee Salcedo, Fightful Pro Wrestling, No DQ, and Good My Work Commentaries, and my other favorite podcasters. Now let's talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41, Las Vegas. The show 4 hours, 7-match card. Now this live stream is gonna be like an hour and 30 minutes. We'll see how long it goes. Make sure you guys enjoy this video. Now this is what we got on WrestleMania. Hold on. Just want to show you guys the matches that we got on the show here. Now this is how we got on the show. We got the now there's the press conference after a 3-hour pre-show and no matches on the card. As you guys know, Ray Phoenix had to replace Rey Mysterio because he got hurt in the match on Friday last night. So Ray Phoenix replaced them, and he ended up wrestling Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable. Bailey gets attacked backstage. We don't know who. We don't know why. We don't know why this even happened. That was kind of lazy. I believe it was Watson Perez. I don't think it was Liv and Raquel. They said they didn't do it, but I think it was Watson Perez. I think she did this. Watson Perez had to do this because they're still going to continue their feud. Now this is how the show started. Triple H turns on the light. I think the best match was Jey Uso and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was a great opener. The tag team title was kind of done. No one interested. The second best match was LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. That was a fantastic match. Jay and Naomi was kind of okay. It was a filler feud. Ray and Grande was a very good match. Alright. Now let me go back to alright.
The grandest stage of all. That's right, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is moving across WrestleMania, and millions around the country, all powered by next-gen Wi-Fi.
Hold on.
As WWE's new official home Wi-Fi partner, Xfinity is bringing the goods. Speed, energy, and connection like never before. Designed by the legendary Joe Industrial, this set blends Vegas class with Xfinity power, and it's just the beginning of a new movie.
Hold on a second. Obviously, the main event is just getting started. So, here's Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels revealed the WrestleMania 41. He also revealed the what could happen on Saturday. So Shawn Michaels came out just to reveal the record attendance, 61,400 and something. That's how many fans were attending here at Legion Stadium tonight. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll never know if that number is true or if it's false. We won't know. But yeah, that was it. Now that's what we saw in the opening of the show. I actually wanted to talk about the NXT. Now this is the Hall of Fame that was last night. Now here in the East Coast, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Now this is the Hall of Fame class of 2025. It was a very good Hall of Fame. I'm glad that the Hall of Fame was private. It was only for the wrestlers. Like this time they didn't do it in the arena with fans. probably because of the timeline there in Las Vegas and SmackDown 3 hours. So I don't think they'll have enough time to like set the whole thing up. And I don't think that they would. Um, I don't think that they'll have enough time. So I'm glad that these Hall of Fame. I'm glad that it's private. It was a very good Hall of Fame. Triple H, he was the last one to speak, get choked up during his Hall of Fame speech. It was very good. It was a great speech. I love Triple H. He's my favorite of all time. Next to Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Shawn Michaels was the one who inducted Triple H, his best friend. He had an emotional speech here that was very good. The legacy um, 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 Dory, Funk, and Ivan. We also have Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin told they're immortal, meaning their match at WrestleMania 13. That was a 5-star classic. That was awesome. We had the National Disasters, who also ended up in the Hall of Fame. That was also very good. Michelle McCool, the Undertaker's wife. Undertaker welcomes his wife to the Hall of Fame. That was also very good. It shows highlights of her career. She's also a legend, greatest of all time. We also had Lex Luger, who was also there. He walked to the podium for an introduction speech. Triple H, Paul Levesque joined by family for statue unveiling. I thought it was great. I thought the Hall of Fame was very, very good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I wanted to talk about the NFT. Here are the highlights to NFT Stand and Deliver 2025. They put this morning, by the way. It was in the afternoon. It was a very good show. These were the matches that were on the show. This was on the pre-show. A number one contender fitted four ways eliminating tag team match. The winner will face whoever wins the tag team titles on Sunday, whether it's Raquel or Liv, or it might be Becky and Lyra because Bailey got hurt. We won't know. We'll have to wait and see, but that was a pretty good match. That was in the pre-show. I believe there were 6 matches and one in the pre-show. Ricky Sainz versus Ethan Page for the North American title. That was very good. That was a very good match. Ricky Sainz, Ricky Sainz retained a very decent match. Hank and Tank done the Fraser. They beat Nathan Fraser and Akam to win the NXT Tag Team title. That was a great match. Very good match here, surprisingly. Penn and Taylor made the NXT Heritage Cup disappear. Women North American title ladder match was very good. We had new champion Sylvia Landry Soul Snatchers. She wins her first title. That was a good match, a good moment for her. The D'Angelo family versus Dark State. A very good 6-man tag. We had a very good fatal 4-way with Stephanie Valkyrie, Gulia, Jada Parker, and Jordan Ace. Jordan Nan. Um, I'm pretty sure Stephanie Valkyrie retained here. She should. She's awesome. She's so great. We had a fantastic main event. It was awesome. Obi versus Trick Williams versus Devon Evans for the NXT North America for the NXT title. Obi did retain, like I predicted, a very good match. It was a classic. It was awesome. That was a very good match. You guys know that Triple H has announced the Triple A will collide Saturday, Los Angeles, California, on June 7th. So Triple H announced that there's the set for WrestleMania. We know that tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we got the Slammy Awards, the Fan Choice Awards. I can't wait for that to see. Tiffany Stratton made Barbie's inspired entrance. She had a great entrance there. Alright. Been almost 10 minutes. Now let's see if they're going to the main event right now. Because we got the last match on the card. Let me know y'all can hear it. The main event just got started. We're at the last match. Now, what can happen in this match? It should be great. It should be fantastic. Now we're getting dark. Now we're getting dark. It's not bright as it was last time. Can y'all hear it? Yeah.
A 14th appearance at WrestleMania, the third time he's been in the main event. Come to WrestleMania for the wrestling, but stay for the karaoke. We've got a bit of everything here tonight in Vegas.
Is it Roman Reigns or CM Punk? Yep, it's Roman Reigns. So Punk's gonna come out last.
Wait, wait.
He's wearing white. Wearing white with. He got on white sneakers.
Chiseled from stone. The OTC has arrived in Sin City. For a record 10 time, Roman Reigns will main event WrestleMania. Titan of this industry marching to the ring with his signature celestial swagger, the epitome of ice cold, effortless cool. Roman Reigns with a record of 9-3 at WrestleMania. Guys, there are only 4 men in history who have more wins than Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Their names: The Undertaker, John Cena, Edge, and the Game Triple H. Russia, what Russia? Running the main event of WrestleMania. Well, this is a walk Roman Reigns has taken many times before. He has a locker at the main event of WrestleMania. This is where he lives. Others just join him in different cities. And of course, the Samoan Dynasty, Anoa'i family dynasty, that is now headed by the original tribal chief. That man, a lot of questioning coming into the street path about who would carry the equal ball into the ring. Paul Heyman would normally do that. Tonight, Roman Reigns comes to the ring with the equal ball on himself. And for the first time in many, many years, Roman Reigns heads into battle alone. The Hula Fala symbolizes the head of a family. And when you talk about Roman Reigns' family, you're talking about one of the most successful and powerful families in the history of mankind. A lot of ones
Why is it showing that?
WWE action you love with Wi-Fi built for streaming from Xfinity. Pat, you and I have had the opportunity to call most of his fans matches over the past 4 or 5 years. I've never seen Roman Reigns in the shape that he is in tonight. I had a chance to chat with him a little bit on Friday, and he talked about his discipline and his training routine. He runs his entire fight camp out here to Las Vegas from South Florida. Focused completely on dominating this triple threat that everybody thinks is for the face of the generation or for the next king of an industry.
Alright, CM Punk gonna come out last.
Don't let these tattoos fool you. I'm a man of great discipline. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I'm straight edge. My addiction is wrestling. It's wrestling. My name is C.
Yep. It's not crazy.
I've won championships. I've made friends, and I've made enemies. Tonight is my night. Tonight is my main event.
It's not crazy. I just want to say that the promo package is wonderful. It's awesome. They're playing CM Punk's old theme song. The what's it called? When he was in Toy Society back in 2010. I love that theme song. I always want. Never got him over. Is he gonna come out? Live music. So CM Punk had live music being played for his entrance. Awesome.
It has to be a surreal moment for CM Punk. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins from Phillies disgusted over the fact that Paul Heyman, with a smile on his face, kissed CM Punk on the forehead and walked down into the ring with a second getting stank. It is CM Punk's first WrestleMania match in 12 years. Remember, he missed last year's WrestleMania with a torn triceps. And tonight he goes into triple threat action with Reigns and Rollins, two men that he cannot stand. Triple threat rules. First man to get a pinfall or submission will win this matchup. There are no countouts. There are no disqualifications. Paul Heyman is here in Punk's corner. The question, guys, though, is where does his
Allegiance lie. I'm not gonna show too much of it because I don't want to get a copyright strike.
for the first time
I actually like that CM Punk is wearing his old attire from back in 2011.
to the dance in WWE,
Can you hear it?
one that goes way back at CM Punk.
Hold on.
Accelerating their travel to who's going to handle the Ula Fala? You will not trust the man who decided to allow Punk's favor to be a part of WrestleMania, being in Punk's corner. Remember, he owed Punk a favor after Punk helped Roman Reigns' team out back in War Games Survivor Series. Look what you did, Paul! CM Punk is just laughing at the sight of the disgust in the eyes of Roman Reigns. And we are underway with this triple threat main event with three icons, three sure Hall of Famers. The official in this main event, Rod Zapata, who will have his hands full with these three men tonight. So much history between everyone in this matchup. You need hours to be able to sift through it all. The reason for the animosity and the hatred and the disdain. An entire generation here in front of our eyes. CM Punk, who burst on the scene. Now he's utilizing his wise man or best friend. He's mocking Reigns and Rollins. It's also what he's doing here. CM Punk showed up at ECW, run by Paul Heyman when he was just a teenager. Wanting to break into the business. He would get to Ohio Valley Wrestling and become Heyman's best friend. And Rollins now said, we're not working together. Enough issues between you and I, and what we used to have inside the Shield, and now we're underway. Seth is trying to strike a deal there. It's way too late for that. 10 years of animosity. And CM Punk is quite happy to let these two duke it out. Punk now is still behind. Remember, in many ways, Seth Rollins, the obsession by Reigns for Rollins last year cost Reigns the championship with Reigns. CM Punk's got a non-stop grin on his face as he walked out. Remember, securing the main event of WrestleMania was never the goal. Winning in the main event of WrestleMania is. Punk fails to do that, and he'll always look back on this night with regret. And Roman Reigns trying to shake out an issue with his hamstring early on in this matchup. Paul Heyman did tell CM Punk that he would indeed one day main event WrestleMania. Paul Heyman said, I will be with you when it happens, and it has. And Punk now dropped up over the top rope.
I wonder how long this match is going to be. It might go more than 30 minutes. I'm not sure. Now, let me know y'all can hear the sound.
So damn open.
Can y'all hear the math? Can y'all hear the commentary? Let me know in the comments section.
To the face of Seth freaking Rollins. Clean Jordans on our tribal chief's feet tonight. This is not about a championship. This is about pride and dignity and proving you're the best, perhaps, of a generation. Not ego and animosity. And the man who's walked on water in this industry for the past 10 years, Roman Reigns, immediately taking control. And barking at Heyman. We're talking about saving this industry in the last 10 years. Here's what you could have, Heyman. You made your choice. Now, let's flash Reigns into the ring post. Let's not forget, guys, as Seth Rollins now sets up for a suicide dive over Reigns. All three men outside the ring again, no countouts. You know, as much damage as you want outside the ring. It's time over here by the commentary table like the two ex-Shield members beat the hell out of each other. And remember, the reason that Rollins and Reigns are here, at least when they first arrived on the scene, was because of CM Punk. The Shield was built as the security force for CM Punk. Well, let's not make out like that is some accolade for CM Punk. They were brought in as security to protect CM Punk. It wasn't a selfless act by CM Punk. And both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins know that. But again, it just more attention to the history between these three men. Now, Punk and Rollins, some personal hatred between these two. Rollins has never forgotten the fact that Punk left the company, badmouthed the company for many, many years, while Rollins stayed here and played the soldier. And when Punk came back to all the fanfare, it pissed Rollins off. It set Rollins out, taking out that animosity on Punk. Spoke to Rollins earlier, he said the only time CM Punk has improved the culture in WWE is when he cleared off for 10 years. And off the barricade, the fight now.
I'm glad that they're gonna fight in the crowd.
Undoubtedly, CM Punk has found the fountain of youth that's physically better than he has done in 15 years, and his performances attest to that. He's fresh, ready to go, still the best in the world in his eyes. Yeah, the first time they have any WrestleMania, Rollins used. Saw Mick Foley last night at the Hall of Fame. Jack referee Ron Zapata has his work cut out here, trying to keep this one under control.
So Punk and Rollins are gonna fight in the crowd. Where's Roman Reigns? How long is he out? Pretty sure he can sneak from behind, right?
Completely unprotected there with CM Punk. There's a button back there for sure. Well, to the youth ain't helping you now, Punk. Roman Reigns was taken out of the equation. Heyman there is at ringside looking on and out. CM Punk and a suplex into the garbage can. Onto the cement. Sharp, twisted steel with that garbage can gouging into the lower back of Seth Rollins that is historic. Back and Seth Rollins' back is a blow. CM Punk and Seth Rollins throwing big shots at each other amongst the WWE universe. Cheated up to back at the This is why the problem in a triple threat match. You got two diverted with one of your opponents.
How long is Roman Reigns taking out? Shouldn't he be getting off or something? It's about time. Where the hell is he? Why did he wait so long?
Roman Reigns took out CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and maybe the first four Rollins. 55-inch vertical. And he ran right by Paul Heyman, the man who betrayed him. But he decided to come out here with CM Punk tonight. Well, we get Roman to criticize Roman Reigns, but I personally would have let Seth where he was, isolate CM Punk, get him in the ring and try to win this thing. Well, they hate each other equally. Our tribal chief is starting to think tells the story. The man he could have been backing, the man he's backed for years, is in total control of this one. He's doing exactly what he's done with the better half of the last decade, running this thing. Our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Didn't CM Punk out of the way. Some physical wrecks at ringside. And again, continuing the assault on Rollins. Paul Heyman may have been on the wrong horse in this one tonight. Roman Reigns is dominating both Punk and Rollins in this triple threat match. Heyman does not make many mistakes, but this one looks, right now at least, like a major faux pas from the Rollins match. CM Punk's fighting back. Yeah, Punk will never give up. Continues to say he is the best in the world as he sends Reigns back into the ring. Well, this is going to have to be the best performance of his career if he's pulling out victory here. That's Roman Reigns. But the running knee, Roman Reigns able to pick him out of the air. There's the power now of Reigns. Being able to get Punk up on his shoulders. He's off the top by Roman. Seth Rollins now off the top rope. Runs it over by hand. He's got a 10-pack. Well, he's absolutely shredded. Well, he's being driven by anger.
Hold on. Actually, wait. Nah.
This man wants to talk wrong again. This man wants the business. Everything he did for Paul Heyman and Paul Heyman's career, Heyman running the gravy train, right the gravy train of Roman Reigns, and now it turns back on for Punk tonight. Look at the Superman punch. Punk down, swinging neckbreaker, Punk Reigns. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get a pin. Have to keep the fight. Avoiding that Superman punch for CM Punk. And Rollins up over the top, caught by Punk again. Punk in position for the GTS. Rollins not going to allow it to happen. Running knee now, caught Reigns in the jaw.
Ooh.
There's a heel kick to the face of Seth Rollins. And now it's CM Punk who is starting to build momentum in the matchup. Amazing job by CM Punk of just adapting your offense on the fly. Take what your opponents are giving you. CM Punk in control of the main event of WrestleMania. Gotta be those lightning reflexes for CM Punk.
Very good match.
Ahead now. A couple of running knees by Punk yet again. Again to the other side. Punk now is gaining control. Punk is small for choice. You got two dead bodies in there. Wait a minute. Punk now. Oh, and a DDT. An inverted DDT. Delivered to Rollins and Reigns. Vintage Punk in the middle of the ring. Let's take another look. Another DDT from CM Punk on Roman Reigns.
That was a nice replay. That was a great move that Punk did. This is a very good match. It's starting to pick up. It's a great main event. I think we're all curious how's it gonna end, what's gonna happen.
Going to the sky, looking over the shoulder of Heyman. This Punk now from the top rope.
Oh, look at this.
Punk paying homage with a big elbow to Rollins. And still no win for Punk. But to me, this is emotion getting the best of CM. Well, Heyman's supposed to be an advisor and a coach. Maybe you should tell Punk to go for the cover and end this thing. Maybe a wise man would say something wise at some point. Punk now helped Ben beat the hell out of both of these men. Proving a point here tonight. Soaking it in is one thing. You have to be ice cold and clinical to win a match like this. And I fear Punk has let emotion take over. And Rollins down top rope. Uh-oh, look at where Reigns is. Roman Reigns could be in trouble here. Roman dragging himself back to his feet. Rollins trying to fight out of this. Punk's down on the top rope. Dangerous situation for everybody involved. Doomsday device connected momentarily, perhaps unintentionally. Rollins punch. Cover by Reigns. It is electric in Las Vegas tonight. Sold out 61,467. Watching three of the greatest in the game battle it out. Reigns, Punk, Rollins, triple threat action.
Yep.
Look at the spear ready to a knee. See him walk down.
Uh-oh.
Looking for a GPS to Reigns. Elbow by Roman to fight his way out of it. Over time there from Punk, but it just stunned the tribal chief. Yeah, Punk getting better on their tribal chief. And here comes Punk now. Punk now. Down goes Reigns for the win for Punk. Kick out at two. A high cover right on the shoulders of Roman Reigns. Wait a second. Looking for the anaconda device. Punk looking for the anaconda device. If Reigns taps, it's over. Ropes will not cause a break. Punk's got it locked in. Can Reigns hang on? Or will Reigns tap out? Squeezing the life out of the tribal chief. Surely fading, cutting up that oxygen to the brain. Referee taking a very close look. Or by hook or by crook. Reigns trying to counter Rollins now. Dog splash. Reigns takes up, saving the match. Pin, cover. Rollins almost took out both men.
This is crazy.
Flash from Seth freaking Rollins. Wow. With the blink of an eye, that just when Punk thought he had victory. In to steal it was the architect strike. Freaking Rollins. Seth's eyes, he was saving it. I think he thought it was over if he didn't do that. WWE fans serenading Rollins. Wait, I'm just going to ask you both things out. If you're Rollins, what do you do? Clear one man out as quickly as you can. Figure out who the weakest guy is. Get him out of the ring. Then focus all your efforts on the remaining match. And again, the personal animosity forces Rollins to go back to Punk and try to beat the hell out of CM Punk. Lifts Punk up. And a buckle bomb by Rollins. Such a devastating maneuver has taken out several superstars for long periods of time. And Punk hasn't moved since. And now Rollins lifting Roman Reigns up. Reigns is in trouble as well. Trying to hang on, and another buckle bomb by Seth. Is Seth freaking Rollins the one that's walking out of here as the champion of a generation? There's so much talk about what Punk and what Roman Reigns have accomplished. But you cannot rest on this man, Seth Rollins. An unbelievably great WrestleMania performer over the years. A great champion. A very concerned Paul Heyman in front of us at ringside. As Ross now. But for a pedigree, Punk looking for a GTS. Spear! Seth dodging out of the way. And now Reigns hooked. Look for the pedigree again. That body drop. Rollins lands on his feet. Roman Reigns went to his head. Pedigree! By Rollins! Pedigree! Rollins, stop the Reigns! Rollins gets rid of CM Punk. Cover! Rollins for the win! Reigns is still in it! Oh my God! Seth Rollins did literally everything he was supposed to do there. Watch this. As the spear turns into a pedigree.
I love that. I love that move. I love how he counted the spear into a pedigree. That was awesome. That right there, I actually thought it was over. But he's not going to pin Roman Reigns.
Was all it took for Roman Reigns to just kick out in the nick of time. Meanwhile, Paul Heyman's new gravy train, CM Punk, is lying here in moon, right in front of Heyman's face at ringside, while Rollins and Reigns remain in the ring. Heyman's been pouting a lot. There's nothing going the way he likes it. His durability, the athleticism, the speed of thought of Seth Rollins, the thing that has taken him to the very this match. Took his time, get up there. Seth Rollins going for broke. No, behold,
Phoenix Flag.
Punk catches him. CM Punk looking to go to sleep. Spear to Rollins. Punk going to sleep to Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's it?
For a win in the main event. Catch out by Roman. Why on earth cannot believe their eyes. Paul Heyman.
Roman Reigns is not getting pinned. And why should he? He's not.
Roman. The spear bouncing out of the way, connecting. Taking Seth Rollins out of the equation. Followed up by the sweetest GTS you will ever see. But Roman Reigns, as we know, he's just a bit too special. CM Punk had his WrestleMania moment. And somehow, Roman Reigns kicks out. Now the fight continues on the outside.
All right.
Like he had the plug pulled on him.
What is CM Punk gonna do? He got Reigns in the ring. Now what?
Punk is rolling now. Heyman is his demeanor's changed. Now they go to sleep.
He's
Time
over.
to count some sheep. Big frame of a massive tribal chief, and at this point in the match, Punk struggled a little there. Pedigree! Cover! All three of these men showing massive signs of wear and tear as we get into the deepest of deep water in this WrestleMania Saturday main event. All three of them have had moments where they were walking out of here with their hand raised. All three of them have had moments where they were 1, 2, 3. This is going anybody's way. This audience completely split between these three. You never know. That's why I'm here. You're without him. You're without me. You're without March. You're without your bloodline. Of course you don't know. Listen to me. Listen to me. He doesn't belong here. He doesn't belong here. It should be you and me. He's the outsider. We put him down. And it's done. He's the dead man. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? I was trying to explain to Reigns that the greater good is to take out the cancer of CM Punk. And Rollins now takes the fight to Punk here at ringside. And now, Seth Rollins, look at that arm out, Seth, they're going to start turning things out. All right. Will Reigns and Rollins work together? Well, the question now is Seth Rollins even looking for victory? Or is he looking to punish CM Punk? Is this just retribution? Hey, look at Reigns. Wait, you got to look at Roman Reigns. He is so torn here. He doesn't know what to do. Does he team with Rollins? He's looking back at Heyman. He's looking at Punk. We get some deja vu. Take a wall. Oh, here we go. CM Punk. Going old school tonight. The ultimate throwback. Oh! He said, get out of here. Reigns said, I'm going to do it myself, damn it. I didn't know this table could break. Punk is out. Reigns turns his attention now to Rollins. A defenseless Seth Rollins who got sucker punched. Oh, look out, look out. Back in the hell of the way. Reigns with vengeance in his eyes. Our tribal chief is cleaning out. Roman Reigns destroyed everything in his path.
What? I thought it was over. Holy moly, that was shocking. I did not expect that. There was no way it was gonna end like that. No way. Man, my heart is beating. I just don't know who's gonna win this main event. It's near fall after Mills fall. So many highlights. This is awesome.
This is a main event of WrestleMania, and if anyone can dig deeper in the mud, it's Seth freaking Rollins. And incredibly, this match continues. We all thought it was over. We all thought our tribal chief had his wand to the sky. But somehow Seth freaking Rollins fights on. Look out. Roman Reigns. Who goes for a favor, huh? Reigns has not forgotten about Paul Heyman. No, not at all. Roman Reigns felt betrayed. Punk stepped back into the ring. How sweet would it be if Roman Reigns put CM Punk to the sword in front of his turncoat former wise man? By the way, Heyman, this is all your fault. This is all your fault, Paul. Roman Reigns down. We're going to choke out Punk as Heyman looks on. We're going to choke out Punk as Heyman looks on. Standing guillotine as the second City fades in the biggest moment of his career. Oh no, Punk! No, Roman Reigns locks it in deeper. Shoulders down, the rods upon there. Roman's got a shoulder. Triangle still locked in. Is Punk going to tap out? Look like Punk's tap. Punk's the tap it. Turns it around. To a cover. Forces Roman to break it out. Punk looking for the vice perhaps. Punk was able to get out of that guillotine, and now he's okay. What a transition! Great transition by Punk and a counterwise surrender. Both do not cause a break. Submission perhaps to Roman Reigns. Punk with Heyman looking on. See Punk trying to get Reigns to tap. Critical moment in this match. And Seth Rollins back in ball. Well, Seth didn't get in there. This one was over. And Rollins trying to turn this around into a sharpshooter here. Center of the ring. Is Punk going to tap? Is Punk going to tap? The best in the world, tapping out to the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Shows out WrestleMania mortal moment. It's a overwhelming the agony, the torture of this move, combined with the fact you simply cannot breathe in there. Punk may pass out. Roman Reigns, though, trying to get back into this match. Punk still is not tapped. And now Roman Reigns turns things around. And Roman going to try to choke out Rollins. Guillotine. Rollins trying to get back to a vertical base. Oh, this is ridiculous power for Rollins, but how the hell do you get out of that? Those legs are clasped around the midsection of Rollins. Oh, my goodness. Suplex. Shoulders down now. Reigns has got a kick out. Still got one locked in. Still has not released. The chokehold on Rollins. Roman Reigns with a berserk look in his
Damn, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Stop! And now CM Punk.
Oh, that's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. What? I think we're overdoing it with the multiple finishers. I thought Punk was gonna win it. I thought that would have been a great ending, but what is gonna something had to happen, man. Paul Heyman still has not gotten involved.
Biggest shots, and they simply bounce off.
Man, my heart is beating like crazy.
Warriors. Paul Heyman on the outside looks completely lost. He looks like he's given up. CM Punk, this is the main event of WrestleMania. This is what you fought your entire life for. Where does he go after this? He's already burned every bridge he has. Heyman has seen maybe his career flash before his eyes as Punk continues the attack on Rollins. Roman down, Rollins down, CM Punk to his feet. Broken bodies everywhere you look. Who can summon something special to grab victory? Think about the physical exertion that these men have gone through in this matchup. Punk now trying to lift Rollins up, perhaps get him in position to go to sleep. Seth Rollins not going to allow it to happen. Punk now going back to Rollins to go to sleep. Could have been a smart move there by Punk. Can he hit the GTS that he does to Rollins? Stand up by Reigns. Stop myself. Everybody is down.
Damn.
This is absolutely incredible.
This is crazy. Damn. Oh no, Paul Heyman. Oh no. Oh no.
Where's that chair going, Paul? You better make the right choice. You don't need prayers when you got a steel chair. Go on, Paul. No disqualification.
Oh no. Oh no, look at this.
Paul Heyman has made his choice. Paul Heyman has turned his back on Roman Reigns to help his friend CM Punk, who now has a steel chair in hand. Historic loyalty from Paul Heyman. Loyalty no. Roman Reigns is a sitting duck. Roman Reigns is defenseless.
Oh my god, he low blows CM Punk. Oh.
See? Paul Heyman low blowed his best friend CM Punk. Heyman's in agony. Paul Heyman has returned to his original tribal chief. You can't trust that rot. All of Roman Reigns' Christmases just came at once.
Oh no. Oh no.
Paul Heyman has returned to the original tribal chief. It had to be a ruse all along. And now, how epic this would be. That night in Indianapolis, after a decade, payback is
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Roman Reigns.
Oh. Oh no. He turned on Roman Reigns. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What the hell did we just witness? Low blows his best friend in his
Oh my god.
Seth Rollins said, "You owe me the favor now." This is absolute insanity. The devil's work is afoot. This is disgusting.
Oh my god. This is crazy. Paul Heyman turned on both of them.
Again, to the back of Reigns, a stop by Seth Rollins.
Wait, you got a pin Roman? He pinned Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins. And Paul Heyman just bluffed and deceived their way to victory in Vegas.
You know, how many years ago was it, Wade, when that man in the ring sold his soul to the authority to get ahead in this business? And now a decade later, he sells his soul again to Paul Heyman to get ahead in this business.
An ending to this match nobody saw coming. CM Punk and his career best friend was recently reacquired. Wise man and in the steel chair to the man
Damn, crazy.
this moment to be present in the main event of
The
WrestleMania.
pin will reign, that's CM Punk.
In this entire situation, Seth Rollins is the one man that I felt sorry for, that I thought was getting shafted, that I thought didn't have a play in the game.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that.
WWE is the main event of WrestleMania. If you're not shafting your opponents, they're shafting you. It's about who does it best. And Seth freaking Rollins has just mastered this art. And get on the Hoover.
There's been many shield tears to the back over the years, but perhaps none as important and as devastating as the one we witnessed tonight. Paul Heyman always seems to survive. Paul Heyman is the cockroach who always finds himself at the top of the food chain. You cannot tell. Continue to be with the best in the business. And now Paul Heyman has aligned himself with Seth freaking Rollins.
Wow.
And I'm sick.
I cannot believe that. Paul, that was the big shot, the big reveal. Something had to happen.
It could have been weeks or months or years. But Paul Heyman, yeah, years potentially. We thought we knew Punk's situation, right? He did this to get under Reigns' skin. I mean, Roman's the one I feel bad in all this war. Tribal Chief has been stabbed in the back more times than he can imagine. Low blow. And guys, guess what? This is only night one. WrestleMania is Saturday. WrestleMania post-show's next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wow. I cannot believe that. Holy moly. WrestleMania Night 1's in the book. That was a long ass main event. I hope y'all heard it. Holy moly. That was the big shot, the big reveal. I knew it. Something had to happen. They had to give us a shock ending. Now, I was surprised that he pinned Roman Reigns. I thought he might pin CM Punk to protect Roman Reigns, but no, he pinned Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins has owned Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He's owned them every time they're in the ring. Now, what can happen now? Paul Heyman, CM Punk, Seth Rollins is now a Paul Heyman guy. Holy moly. I cannot believe what I just witnessed. Damn. I cannot believe that. WrestleMania is in the books. Seth Rollins became a Paul Heyman guy. He turned on Punk. He turned on Roman Reigns. That was the big shock. Now, something had to happen on night 2. If we got that ending on night 1, something had to happen on night 2. Something had to happen. We got the press conference up next.
Lineup. Like, I'm gonna get down close. Never trust Paul Heyman, guys, ever. I going around, I'm like, all right, they're probably going to do this, and I really hope they don't. But once things start to pick up steam, you're like, well, they just go with it.
So he left CM Punk, he left Roman Reigns.
Oh, no. Come on, Punk. It's just a low blow. Get up.
I'm surprised that they're calling him. Why they still calling him Seth freaking Rollins? I thought it was just Seth Rollins. Now it's Seth freaking Rollins. I loved it. I thought the match was great. A fantastic main event. I knew we were gonna get a swerve. The big shock. Paul Heyman. I don't think no one saw this coming. I mean, fans did predict it, but we didn't think that they were gonna do it, but they did. We had to get something. That's what we needed. Seth Rollins has owned Roman Reigns. He owns CM Punk. How do you get to Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman turned on Punk, turned on Roman.
That guy's face. Happen. Watch, he's just going to throw it in the middle and Seth. I don't want to look at you right now. It's some bullshit. No, shut up. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop it. Yep.
Holy moly.
I'm gonna start chanting, no.
Seth Rollins was the right guy.
Started going around. And once the Fury started going around, I I'm like, all right, they're probably gonna do this, and I really hope they don't. Bye. Okay. Not
I cannot believe that, man. That was the big shock and the big swerve.
Behind him, Roman's going to turn his back on him. Sure enough, Paul Heyman hits him with a devastating low blow. And Rollins, with his back turned, not looking at any of this. You can tell by the look on his face that he knows what's going on. So it's all part of the plan. And then he took advantage and wound up pinning Roman Reigns, actually, to win the match. I thought he would pin CM Punk, so Punk did not take the pin and keep the pin, and it's like I thought he would. But Rollins did win like I thought he would. And now he is officially Paul Heyman, and I feel like he will likely be the challenger for Jey Uso in maybe a Backlash or whenever, unless they run Jey and Gunther back first, and then to give Jey at least a little bit more than a month-long run. But I feel at this point, with Heyman behind Rollins, how do you not immediately put him in title match situations? I think that's what's going to happen. So it'll remain to be seen if he's going to be drafted or anything like that. We'll find out tomorrow if Becky Lynch turns out to be the mystery opponent or mystery partner.
Man, that was crazy. That was a great ending. It was shocking. It was unexpected. No one expected that. That was awesome. They had no choice. They had to swerve us.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Fightful. It is April 19th, 2025. I am Sean Ross Sapp. His championship. He struck Jey in the head while the referee wasn't looking. And then Gunther came off the top with his own splash. Jey, though, kicked out. And then Gunther applied the sleeper hold. However,
Seth Rollins becomes a Paul Heyman guy. Just look at that image. Just look at that image. Him low blowing Reigns, and then Rollins him with the chair, and he pinned Roman. I thought Punk might take the pinfall to protect Roman, but no, Reigns took the pinfall. Now that right there will tell a story. That will definitely set Punk. That will definitely set Rollins and Reigns. Seth Rollins had owned Roman Reigns twice, well, 3 times, because last year, and then WrestleMania 31 when he capped in, Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble, and now this year's WrestleMania. Seth Rollins had owned Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns cannot beat Seth Rollins when it mattered most.
Heyman turned on CM Punk, he turned on Roman Reigns, and he aligned with Seth Rollins. Just really quick, what's your reaction to that, man?
I mean, number one, shout out to Ango. You called it, brother. You knew what was gonna happen. This guy. Can we just? I know we're here on the live and everything like that, and I know we're gonna talk about it, but can we take a second, give this man his flowers? It's like he knows what's gonna happen. He understands pro wrestling. So everybody, make sure you hit the subscribe button for Ango. This guy is one of a kind, really. But initial reaction, first reaction to actually witnessing it live, was insane because obviously we talk about it and we think these things are going to
Two major companies that has a 33-year history in the market in Mexico and WWE.
Now we get to see. Well, let's see what's in the press conference. Hold on,
You probably know this difference for business cards because we printed them for millions of small businesses over the past.
On maybe his biggest rival ever. We're going to have a lot to discuss here. Jackie Red.
we got the press conference. Why the press conference a lot different? All right, hold on. Hold on. These shows over.
Night number one. Went after Mania post show. Oh, what a night. You can lather on all the superlative descriptions you want.
So now we see Roman Reigns walking away. Roman Reigns doesn't have the title. He doesn't have his family. No wife, man. He looked disappointed.
Roman Reigns sits back, and you can see it on his face, trying to understand what happened in front of him. As we welcome you outside of the stadium to tonight's wrestling. Who thought he was about to have it his way at that singular moment when Paul Heyman grabbed the steel chair, looked deliberate, for Punk.
Where we have Jay Uso, Tiffany Stratton, Seth Rollins, and Triple H. Now the show's over. It showed Roman Reigns walking away, and it shows CM Punk. Then he's now walking away. So it showed. And now it shows CM Punk walking away. Jay Carter's on the post show. While showing the highlight, it was a fantastic main event.
By the way, great analysis by Wade Barrett saying, like, lyric Punk, he just that one moment of time and does the kick out. And then CM Punk out of the way as the spear came in, but time and again, whether it was the spear, whether it was a GCS like this, time and again, nobody was willing to falter. That's literally what makes me talking about. This is what makes the triple threat so crazy. Absolutely.
And the match was great.
And somehow able to get that shoulder up with PTS into that match.
Man, the ending was great.
Here's the moment.
It kind of reminds me of the whole feud they had with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. This time, you gotta remember. Now, I actually want to talk about this main event. Now, that spot where Paul Heyman grabbed a chair and he decided to give it to Reigns or Heyman, it's very similar to what he did at Crown Jewels a couple of years ago when it was Roman and Brock, and he drew the title when he said, do with it. Now that was different, but here it's very similar. Here, I actually like them. Where does his allegiance lie? With Roman Reigns or CM Punk? I don't think no one. Now some people expected it, but most people didn't. People were shocked. We didn't think that they would do it.
And CM Punk says that's exactly why I asked for the favor. But then he turned on his longtime quote-unquote best friend. And Roman Reigns says, yes, you are honoring your tribal chief. The wise man is staying loyal. He hand-delivers on a silver platter with a chair.
Well, Paul Heyman's a heel, obviously, and Seth Rollins had to be a heel. No more babyface, no more cringe babyface shit. Seth Rollins, no more Darren Bourne. Seth Rollins is a heel. Paul Heyman is a heel. Can you imagine what could happen Monday Night Raw? Reigns is obviously a babyface. Punk is babyface. Rollins is a heel. Need to be a heel. Rollins needed victory more. He needed more. He come on TV more. Paul Heyman coming on TV more. He coming with Seth Rollins.
To set up.
Rollins could go after titles. He could go after Jey Uso more title. I think we will get Reigns and Rollins. Punk and Rollins should be over. I think we'll get Reigns and Rollins.
What looked like a decade of payback as he would beat down CM Punk.
Man, just look at the face of Paul Heyman reaction.
Even a bigger shocker was set to be delivered. Just when you thought Roman Reigns was going to take it all.
Man, look at that. Man, just look at the reaction of Paul Heyman. Just look at his face. And Seth Rollins standing there. That's crazy. I knew that we were going to get something in the main event. We had to get something big. You can't just have just a clean finish and that's it. Can't have CM Punk win and that's it. Can't have Seth win and that's it. Something had to happen. I'm glad we got. And as Michael Cole said, as the commentary said, this is only night one. Imagine what could happen on night two. If we got this on night one, something needs to happen on night two. What could happen on night two?
How long has he We have no idea. Did this only come after Rollins decided to not hit the stop on Heyman? Was the plan already in place prior to that? The way he reached out his hand.
And he pinned Roman Reigns.
Gives you the sense that it was always in the works. One stop later, and all of a sudden, Seth Rollins is the winner of the triple threat. And I will say that that is the 10th time that a WrestleMania main event did not have a world championship on the line.
So as they show the highlight to the other masses, where we see CM Punk.
Curious now, Punk, I know that this is not a good time to approach you for a comment, but can I get something from you about what just happened out there at the hands of one of your lifelong friends and allies?
He's not gonna say anything? No, he's not gonna say anything.
Comment.
Where'd the press conference? Damn. Paul Heyman betrayed. I didn't think I thought he might pin CM Punk, but he pinned Roman Reigns. Now that right there tells the story. Seth Rollins had owned Roman Reigns. He owned him at WrestleMania 31, Money in the Bank, the Rumble, WrestleMania, and he owned him here. Roman Reigns can't beat Seth Rollins when it mattered most. That's the story that they said 3 years ago, last time they wrestled at the Rumble. Roman Reigns cannot beat Seth Rollins when it mattered most. So we could get that.
And Rochester.
Which got a little bit on the messy side, and very much the match kind of echoed that.
That was the big shock that I think no one saw coming. I loved it. I thought it was great. That is what we needed for WrestleMania. Paul Heyman screws Punk and Reigns, lost out with Seth Rollins. I thought WrestleMania was a great show. I thought it was a great show. Paul Heyman leave with Seth Rollins. WrestleMania is in the books. WrestleMania was definitely a thumbs up. I thought it was a great show. Based on what we got on the show. Like I said earlier, we had a great opener with the world champion. Jey Uso beat Gunther, finally wins the world championship. It was a great match. And the ending made sense. It made sense to the story that they were telling. It was a great opener. And the second best match with LA Knight and Jacob Ford 2 for the US title. Jacob Ford 2 is money. He's a draw. He got his moment. He won the first US title. I think we will see the guy win world champion one day in the company. That was the second best match. This match was alright. It was decent. It wasn't the best, but it was a very good match. I thought the main event, Charlotte and Tiffany, was a great match. Surprisingly, thank God that Tiffany won. Tiffany's time will continue. No more Charlotte getting the title. She lost clean, surprisingly. There was no fuck finish. There was no screwy finish. She won clean, decisive. And this is under Triple H, so Triple H knows. Because, Tiffany's trying to see from NXT Black and Gold. Tiffany's stranded money. She gonna keep the title for a while. I don't know what Charlotte does. I don't really care. Now she's not gonna get no rematch because she lost clean. You can't justify a clean loss. What's Charlotte gonna do? Is he gonna be in the mid card or what? I don't know. Or maybe Charlotte might take some time off. But Tiffany, she's the draw. Whether she's a face or a heel, she's money. The main event was the best match. It was very long. I think it went more than 30 minutes. I love this hype package. This fire burns. I loved it. CM Punk entered the first main event with Heyman. Reigns smashed Punk and Ron through the announce table. We had the Hall of Fame class of 2025 introduced. Some of the matches on here were kind of like filler, could have been saved Monday Night Raw. Like the New Day and the Warriors, that wasn't that good. The crowd was dead for this match. They weren't on their feet for this. I don't think they popped for the New Day, and the Warriors, they even popped for them. Because the Warriors haven't been booked that great. And New Day, I think they kind of dropped a little bit. I think they lost a little bit of momentum from the heel turn on Big E 4 months ago. But the match, whatever. The match should have been saved for Wyatt and nobody be on this show. Well, now we all knew that the New Day were going to win the tag team titles, and they did. They got a fluke victory. They won by cheating. As heels, Jay Carter and Naomi was. I think it could have been on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just not feeling it with Jay Carter. I thought the feud was great. The storyline was fine. Naomi got a new entrance after coming out to her old theme, the babyface theme. But yet, new entrance. The match was alright. Wasn't that spectacular? I'm not gonna go back and watch it. And we got Ray Phoenix, El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable. Match was alright. It was decent. Ray Phoenix may have gotten hurt. Whether if it was planned, maybe he sold an ankle injury in this match, and that would cause him to do anything knee related and do those high flying spots. But Grande Americano won. Chad Gable wins his first singles match at WrestleMania. All right.
Oh, Joy, you're always on the move. You're Baker.
Man, what an ending, man. And this is only night one. Imagine what we're gonna see on night two. What is gonna happen on night two? I can't wait.
Intercontinental longest reigning intercontinental champion. So this man doesn't just lose like that, right? Like he's a difficult one to beat. And so I think the job that he didn't necessarily hit at with this match was really making me truly believe that Jey Uso, honest to God, completely defeated Gunther. I felt like there was still more left in Gunther in order to continue the pursuit of retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. But regardless, I guess all that didn't matter because we all knew, hey, we're just here to see Jey Uso win, and we're just here to see Jey Uso get his moment and become champion. So congratulations to Jey Uso. And now with that being said, his World Heavyweight Championship, I can already predict what people are going to be saying in the next couple of months. If they're going to be like, these matches aren't good or whatever. Why did they put a title on him? Like that's what like the conversation is probably going to be like, only because there is such a heavier spotlight when you are the world heavyweight champion. And if you thought the spotlight on Jey Uso was already really big, it's going to get even bigger now. But regardless, man, people love to eat. People love to have a good time with that. Next up, we had the tag team match for the World Tag Team titles in New Day versus the War Raiders. I feel bad that this was a Monday Night Raw match. I didn't think that there was anything too memorable in the body of this matchup here. This was a Monday Night Raw match to me. This was not a WrestleMania match. And the New Day won, which is what we expected too. So two championships that changed hands that were expected to hands. So not really too much of a surprise there. And so at this point, we're starting to see that, so far nothing too crazy was happening on WrestleMania Night 1. We got a super chat here from Jacob Tatum who says, everything went the way I thought besides Heyman. Yeah, I'm going to say for the most part, I did too. I just feel like there were some matches that I thought could have been stronger. But all the championship belts that we expected to change hands, and the ones we didn't. Thank you so much, Jacob Tatum, for the super chat. We had Jade Cargill defeat Naomi. So this was another one that people were really looking forward to. I thought that we were, I've seen Cargill's career in AEW and now seen her in WWE. In AEW, she kind of had like the same match over and over again, right? She had her streak. She was the longest reigning TBS champion. And she would go out there and have these like open challenges and wrestle, these different people. But for the most part, she never really strayed from the same formula of the type of match that she would have, right? And in AEW, my favorite match of hers was when she wrestled Sky Blue. And the reason I like that.
I'm glad that they are showing it here. Starting to get deja vu. Speechless. A lot of people are speechless. No one could believe that happened. They think that they were gonna do it. It had to be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins made sense. Man, that means something big had to happen on night two. Something big needs to happen on night two. Something had to happen. All right, now let's see. Let's go back to Denise.
Okay, well, what is Jade Cargill going to look like in this singles match with, a massive WrestleMania audience and a story that people are invested in? And I thought this was Jade Cargill's best performance in a singles match kind of ever. Because I think this one was even better than the one she had with Sky Blue in AEW. And that was my favorite one that she had in AEW singles match. I'm not talking about tag teams because with tag teams it's different because Bianca was there. So I'm just talking singles wrestling matches. And so Jade Cargill, I thought she did great. Of course, Naomi pretty much, she was the one you could tell was running things, calling things, doing she was the one leading Jade Cargill in this matchup. But that's fine. It's what you expected. Naomi's far more experienced. Do not doubt Naomi just because she hasn't had all of these accolades like your Charlotte Flairs or your Becky Lynch's or your Bianca Belair's. Does not mean that Naomi is not, fully equipped to lead someone into a good match. So Jade and Naomi I thought were a fine matchup. I thought that this was probably the best you were going to get, and it was good. I think for me, I had said this a bunch of times, but I wanted to see Naomi sort of win this, even though I knew she wasn't. I knew she wasn't because the story is for Jade. Jade would have looked super silly had she lost the match to a woman who threw her through a windshield. Now, I just hope that WWE sees what they have in Naomi, and I truly hope that they don't just stop promoting her. I want them to continue doing what they're doing with her.
All right, hold on. Now let's see if they have the press conference. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Everybody, my hat's off.
All right, so finally, now we got the press conference. So we got Jey Uso has a new T-shirt. He got on night glasses. So we got the press conference here. All right.
We've seen better. We have seen better from Jacob Fatu, and I like the stuff with Braun Strowman a little bit more. Probably a lot more actually, but it was still a fine matchup. But again, it did not, at least to me, fit the WrestleMania caliber type of matchups that we were looking for. So Jacob Fatu, happy he won the United States Championship, and now I cannot wait to see him continue to go on and just tell great stories. I want to see him wrestle pretty much everybody on the show. Please just feed him all to Jacob Fatu. As for LA Knight, though, I wonder what's next for LA Knight. It doesn't feel like WWE. I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I don't feel like WWE right now is as invested in LA Knight as maybe they once were. And even if you consider that invested, because even for a while it didn't seem like they were truly all in on LA Knight. It felt like the fans were more in on LA Knight than the company actually was. And he did get some cool moments. Of course, he went off to face Roman Reigns, but everyone knew he wasn't going to win. So now it's kind of in a situation where LA Knight is, no longer United States Championship. We maybe not. He'll go up and face, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, I'm assuming, is going to lose to John Cena. Maybe LA Knight gets a match with John Cena as a quick challenge. Maybe. I don't know. But it's pretty questionable as to what is going to go down next with LA Knight. So I'm not too sure what his next steps are going to be. So that's going to be something to look at. We got Saeed Den Super here who says Jey Uso is the drunkest man in Vegas right now. Oh my God, is he really? That's so. well. I've talked about every single WrestleMania in depth. I've gone back and rewatched several WrestleManias. I don't think that this is a night of WrestleMania that I'm gonna go back and watch unless I do one of those marathon things where I go back and watch them all. Shit, if I could go back and watch the pandemic era WrestleMania, then sure I could go back and watch anything at this point. But no, unfortunately, I do not think this one hits the mark when it comes to WrestleMania and WrestleMania moments. And that's actually not a knock. It is a testament to the legacy that which WrestleMania has been set.
And there goes, now here it is, Paul Heyman aligned with Seth Rollins betraying CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Now, since I already talked about everything on this show, I might as well just let the podcaster talk about it. That was the big shock. Well, imagine what could happen on night two. Are we going to get two bad endings? I don't want to see it happen. If Cody Rhodes and John Cena are going to close the show on night two, I don't want to see a happy ending where Cody Rhodes wins clean. That's going to waste away of John Cena's heel turn. Like, what was the point of it? I don't know, hope we see Travis Scott. Hope The Rock gets involved. Holy shit. Like, I don't want to see a happy ending. I want to see two bad endings because it's something that we have for. Usually, at least one night is happy, one night bad. How about for the first time we get two bad endings? Now, this is a bad ending. Paul Heyman turned on Punk and Roman. Seth Rollins is definitely a heel. Paul Heyman is a heel. Can you imagine what they're going to say on Monday Night Raw? I can't wait for that.
Me?
Ahoy there!
Thank me.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. Although it may end up that way. What would they do? Are they setting up for some kind of big shock ending to WrestleMania this year? Because the entire match was built around where does Paul Heyman's loyalty lie? Right? He agreed the favor to CM Punk. I'm going to walk him to the ring at WrestleMania. I'm going to be in his corner. Roman Reigns does not like this. Seth Rollins is telling Paul Heyman, now you owe me a favor because I could have killed you the other week and I didn't do it. What would Paul Heyman do? That was the drama around this match. Get Seth Rollins coming out on television talking about how this is going to be the most important triple threat match in the history of our industry, which is laughable, of course. They were really building it up, and you have to think of.
The one thing I did not love though was the ending of the match with Ray kicking Al Grande Americano while he had the freaking the metal plate in his mask. I did not like that ending, and it kind of made me get a little bit nervous as to how
Basically sold his soul to Seth Rollins, and that is how WrestleMania Night 1 goes off the air. And it opens up some very interesting possibilities now as we head into Night 2. Because, of course, we have Cody Rhodes and John Cena coming up tomorrow night for the WWE Championship. And it appears on the surface that one really doesn't have anything to do with the other. Or does it? Does this tie into the Night 2 main event in some way? Is there going to be some kind of connection between what we saw tonight and what we see in the main event tomorrow night? Now we're just sort of fantasy booking and riffing here and try to figure out, connect the dots. Is one, connected to the other? Very possible. Or maybe it has nothing to do with it at all. One thing I will tell you, though, for a Night 1 that was very mid, we needed a main event like that. That main event was excellent tonight. And it was an excellent main event, and it was also a great ending, obviously. Even if you were somebody who, I knew that was going to happen. It was so predictable. I saw it coming from a mile away. Even still, the execution I thought was brilliant. The way they pulled it off tonight. Paul Heyman, my God, we had. It's very rare that you get a triple cross. We have seen double crosses, right? But a triple cross, that's hard to pull off. And Paul Heyman not only delivered a low blow to CM Punk in this main event, he delivered a low blow to Roman Reigns. I don't think I've ever seen this man this excited before. And I don't mean sexually. I'm talking about just taking his arm and driving it up into this man's nutsack as hard as he possibly could. He got in there deep. He got in there deep. He enjoyed that low blow because for 5 years now, he's had Roman Reigns bullying him, tormenting him, mistreating him. 5 years worth of anger and frustration taken out in one low blow. He made the most of it. He went for all of it and he made the most of it. But without that main event, this night one of WrestleMania would go down as the weakest of any of the ones that I've seen outside of COVID Mania. As it was, it was still a very mid-show overall, but that main event really took it up a couple of notches. This show needed a main event like that. And so now we look ahead tonight too, and we'll see it again if there's a connection between what we saw here and what we see tomorrow night. We did have 3 title changes on this show. Jey Uso is the World Heavyweight Champion. I know that's going to upset some people, but too bad. You had to know this was coming.
So many of us have these darker chapters in our life, and it's all what we do with it, and it's all how we persevere, and she's not.
Queen's in here, man. Oh my goodness.
Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Why did Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble? Because he's over.
Ooh, this one is interesting because when this match started, I was telling my chat, I said, hey, this has the potential to be match of the night right here. We have seen Charlotte have match of the night. We've seen the last time she performed at WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania 39, Los Angeles. She and Rhea killed it, okay? Killed it. And I remember just how happy everybody was and how everybody was saying, damn, that could have totally main evented, should have main evented. And they were having that conversation because of how well both of them did. We know how complicated things got between Tiffany and Charlotte heading into this matchup, right? This feud was messy. It got personal. It got heated. It was really, really kind of got ugly, right? But in a sense, that drove more interest.
Tonight. That was not the only title change. Jacob Fatu, in his very first WrestleMania match, walks out United States champion, which is awesome. And it will not be the only championship singles title that this man holds in the next 2 years in his WWE career. And I think a lot of people see the potential in him to headline a few WrestleManias himself.
Yeah, because Jacob Fatu is over. He was over. Fans were chanting for LA Knight, but they chanted for Jacob Fatu. He was over tonight.
This is just the next step in that process. So he leaves WrestleMania as a champion. We also have new World Tag Team Champions in the New Day. They beat the Viking Raiders, but we also had a WWE Women's Championship match with Tiffany Stratton defending the title against Charlotte Flair. They went out there and they did the right thing. And the right thing was to have Tiffany Stratton beat Charlotte, which she did. Charlotte Flair did the honors tonight for Tiffany Stratton. She did not make it easy. When this match was over, Tiffany Stratton looked like she was in a fucking fight. It looked like she may have chipped a few teeth or lost a few teeth.
Fantastic. I love this guy. I love the energy.
They'll have more respect for her and they'll appreciate the effort that
Charlotte had. This is a WrestleMania match. I know what gear I have to kick into. I know what gear I have to be in to put forth a WrestleMania match because she's
WrestleMania. You guys know I'm always honest with you, man. You guys know I'm always honest with you. Hour 1 went by. I didn't really feel anything. Hour 2 went by. I didn't really feel anything. We finally got to LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. I finally felt something. I finally saw something that was at least WrestleMania worthy. Finally, after that 2-hour show that we got. Started at 7, got to 9 o'clock. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu went on with the United States Championship match. Up until that point, it was the best match of the entire night. Then we go into, we get El Grande Americano and Rey Fénix. And then we get Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton for the Women's World Championship. I didn't feel anything. Then we got to the main event. And I said on social media, live during the show on X, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins are legitimately going to save this show. They have to save this show. They legitimately needed to take this show and put it on their backs. Fucking shit show. You guys know me.
Tiffany to kick into another gear and go in there. When I decided to get my education degree, I heard it all.
God
It's
damn
too
it.
expensive, and you'll have to take up.
Gold era. He could do no wrong.
Early with the Gunther bomb. That's a $50 bomb.
Has everything Triple H done been right? Has everything Triple H done been great? No. No. And then I find it funny how people think that I'm all of a sudden gonna.
What kind of stage are they going to have? They got a pretty kick-ass stage this year in Las Vegas. I was hoping they would incorporate the whole Vegas theme and casino.
This show does really good, and I don't like what WWE does. They think I'm gonna.
Connection with this matchup where I did not love it based off of that. I already talked about the main event, so there you go, guys. That was night one of WrestleMania 41. Night two, I really think he could be the night to not miss. I really hope they deliver, because if they don't, then it'll just be like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is WrestleMania and nobody delivered. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Night two, I have higher hopes for night two, which is crazy because I remember in the beginning, everybody was talking about night one and how night one looked like the most stacked. But night two, I think will deliver because, again, you have the women's triple threat match, Io, Bianca, and Rhea. There's no way those girls put on a bad match. The other match that I'm really looking forward to that I think will be good is the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that one's going to have a fun matchup. I hopefully we see Braun Breaker spear the life out of somebody. I think even though we don't like Logan Paul and he gets so much heat, I do think him and AJ Styles will have a pretty damn fun match. And the match I'm also really looking forward to, the Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I'm almost 99.9% certain that may be my match of the night. And then with Randy Orton and the to-be-announced surprise element of who he's going to be facing, I think that is also going to draw some more interest, obviously, in who that might be. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes and John Cena's final WrestleMania match. So, based off of this, I do think night two has it easy for them to make it a far better, stronger night based off of what we saw here today. And I think that's about it, guys. That was WrestleMania 41 night one.
Who have gone on to open WrestleMania. And so that is what Jey Uso got.
As I tweeted that I didn't mind the match. Where was all that hostility following that match? That match really didn't look all that bad after what we had been given over the last 3 hours, huh? WWE, this was not a good show. This was not a good show at all. In fact, this was a Monday Night Raw episode disguised as a WrestleMania with a $100 million budget.
Exactly. Exactly. If it wasn't for that main event, this would have been awful. It would have been a bad show. Everything felt like a Monday Night Raw. The crowd was dead for most of it. Some matches that didn't deliver like they were on they were WrestleMania matches.
And if you're okay with that being WrestleMania, then you people are the exact people Triple H wants on his team. He doesn't want people like me who are going to give it to you honest and brutal and truthful. Those are the people that Triple H wants. It's all right to be negative, folks. I already see the positivity merchants on social media. I can't wait to see the IWC melt down over this WrestleMania when it ends. The show sucked. The show sucked. If you didn't have CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins on this show in the main event, 3 guys who constitute, what, 1% of the fucking roster? This show would have been the worst WrestleMania show since WrestleMania, I don't know, what, 27?
WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 27, WrestleMania 32. Yeah, it would have been up to caliber of those shit WrestleManias.
This show was not good.
Yeah.
This show was not good at all. Why wasn't it good, JP? Give me an example. Why wasn't it good? The show wasn't good because WWE did not put any effort into the storylines coming into the show.
Exactly. Just based on the lackluster build-up. And based on what we were given on in the week leading up to this show. And probably because the build to WrestleMania was way too long. Having WrestleMania by almost the end of April, April 19, April 20, that's probably the reason why.
Well, I heard, this crowd sucks. Las Vegas is terrible. This crowd has nothing louder than fucking Las Vegas.
And he's motioning like he wants more. Like, give me more. And he's got a smile on his face as this is going on. He's smiling at him.
We still got the press conference.
You may get a little excited when you shop at Burlington.
Inning of 20 more eyes on him.
Hold on. Hold on a second.
But first time they've done it since April.
So that it the press conference over, we have Tiffany Stratton.
He actually came to me and he asked me about the idea, and I was immediately like, yes, 100%, let's do it. I'm so down for this.
So we had Tiffany Stratton in there. We had Jay Cardo. We had Jay Uso. Where's Seth Rollins? I'm surprised we didn't see Triple H or anything.
can't take
Right, I don't want to take anything away from Solo. It was very clear.
Gonna set us up for a memorable night 2. So why did this WrestleMania night 1 of WrestleMania 41 fall flat? It's because the stories that they put into everything else on the show outside the big names, they didn't really put any effort into anything that wasn't the main event.
Exactly. The main event was the only thing that had a better story and better hype, better interest, and based on who was in it, Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, that was the better match with the better story and a great ending. Everything else was them being lazy.
They didn't.
The show was underwhelming, just like last year. I mean, last year at WrestleMania 40, night 1, the show was underwhelming. So I am confident. I think we all can hope that night 2 had to be the better night. It had to be memorable, just based on what's on the card.
People didn't care. And then you mix that with the flow of this show, and you mix that with the length of these matches. Bro, it's WrestleMania. I come to watch shit get played out. I come to watch pro wrestling and stories take place in the ring. What happened? I felt like every match tonight on this show felt like they were in a fucking race to see it end. One example of that was Ray Phoenix and Grande Americano. How are you going to send Ray Phoenix and Grande Americano out there and the match feel as if it was unimportant? By the time it was over and by the time the bell rung, I'm asking myself, is that it? Is that all you got? Now I get it. Ray Phoenix was subbing for Rey Mysterio, but you give me a match that is better than the original plan, and that's the best you got?
Exactly.
By the time it was over, I was asking myself, how is that the best Phoenix and Chad Gable had at WrestleMania?
Exactly.
Jey Uso and Gunther, I even felt, that's it? What happened to everything that we got for the last 3 weeks? Did we get that intensity played off? Did that play itself out? And what the fuck was that ending?
I know, right?
They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to get Las Vegas heating with a predictable outcome that everybody knew as soon as he won the Royal Rumble.
Exactly. It felt rushed. It felt underwhelming. Like, really? Gunther taps out. It's like they want the ending. What the hell was that? They could not wait to say, oh, Yeet Mania, Jey Uso finally won the title.
That is no excuse to sit there and say, oh, but this was a WrestleMania moment, JD. Why didn't you enjoy it? I did enjoy it. Why not make it better? Why not make the entire experience and the entire moment better than the way it played out? Why is everybody making excuses for mediocre television? I don't come to watch a 4-hour WrestleMania show, a show that happens once a year, that you're charging an artery and a lung to sit at. And that's what you give us. That didn't feel like a WrestleMania show tonight.
Exactly.
The guys who are WrestleMania felt like WrestleMania. The rest of the 3 hours that I watched felt like a fucking Monday Night Raw where WWE basically said, we don't give a shit. Let's get this 2.5 hours of television off the air and move on to the next town. Night 2 was always going to be better than night. Oh, why is this the main event? Why is this the main event? Why isn't Rhea Ripley, Io Scott, and Bianca Belair main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship? Now you know why. Now you know why. Story is everything, folks. Story is king. When you have a greater story with a cliffhanger that will take you from night 1 into night 2, that will always be your main event, more so than anything else. The story was greater than what the women were telling. So that narrative quickly died as soon as the show went off the air because she saw exactly why. Exhibit A.
The story arc with Jey Uso going back to 2020, okay, 5 years, 5 years ago, in the empty arenas, after Roman won the championship and they started the whole bloodline story. And he had to take a lot of shit from Roman. And Roman was manipulating this guy and toying with him and playing with his.
No, it wasn't. Not even close. But it's trending towards maybe a 75% thumbs up because of what they did. They legitimately saved the entire fucking program. Every bit of it. If they weren't on the show, this would be constituted as the worst WrestleMania in the last 5 years. Easy. Easy. It already is. I'm staking my claim to that. Worst WrestleMania under the 2-night format. This might have been the best triple threat match in company history.
Yeah. This was. I think it went better than the one with Brian and Ez. Because it might be longer. There was a lot of spots in this match. It might have been better than the one with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton and Batista.
No, that has big time competition. I don't want to be one of those guys that comes on here and says everything that's new and WWE is the best ever. I am more invested in these guys than anybody previously that had a triple threat match. This was fucking great.
Yeah, me too.
Everything about this was fucking great. From the bell ringing, this was great. Everything. If it wasn't the best, it's certainly top 3. Easy. This is the best triple threat match that the company has put on in many, many, many years. This might be the best triple threat match in pro wrestling all year, and that already has stiff competition. But the thing that makes this the best is the story. I don't give a fuck how many flips and dives and fucking Canadian destroyers you could do, and how many near falls and kickouts of finishes you could do. This one had much more going into it than any other triple threat match already this year. So let's get that out of the way. There were a lot of people started becoming a thing several weeks ago when Paul Heyman, he was integrated into this storyline and he was the focal point. He was the centerpiece of this storyline. A lot of people They were saying, who's the third man? What third man? What are we talking about? Why is there a third man? Who is the third man? What third man are you speaking of? Everybody is going back to The Rock, doing the three. Who's the third man? It all goes back to The Rock using the number 3. He did it at Bad Blood, and he did it at the Elimination Chamber. I'll get to you guys in a second. Thank you for the super chat love. You guys are killing it already. We're almost at $1,000 in super chat. Now let's get 2,000. Everybody's asking, who's the third man? Everybody is wondering who the third man is. Some people in the community are like, what the fuck are you talking about, third man? Even Solomon's on Tuesday Night Titans, there's no third man. He laughed at it. He laughed at the idea of it being a third man. All through my content this week, I asked several people. We were live with Jesse. We were live with Santi Zach. We were live with Ango. Third man. Who's the third man? Have you guys heard about this notion of the third man? Are you guys under the belief that Paul Heyman could possibly walk out with Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins doesn't need Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. It doesn't make sense. I was one of those people. I heard it from you guys. I heard it being whispered online, on Twitter, and I sat with it. Prepping for my shows, taking my notes for the week, I sat with it. What are they talking about? Rollins, Heyman, Rollins. Third man. Is Heyman going to walk out with Punk? Is Heyman going to walk out with Reigns? And I got to think, it would be pretty fucking boring if Paul Heyman walked out with CM Punk. All right, guys, happy ending. The guy who wanted his main event gets the W. We'll see you on Night 2 Sunday. Boring. Paul Heyman walking out with Roman Reigns. Doesn't really do anything for me. If he turns on CM Punk to join Roman Reigns, we've seen that. We've been there, done that. Don't really care to see Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I didn't even give a shit about seeing CM Punk and Roman Reigns this year at WrestleMania. I thought it was too soon. Doesn't do anything for me. We've been there, done that. Then you got the whole Brock Lesnar narrative that got brought into the whole situation this week. Oh, what if he brings back Brock Lesnar and just joins him again and says "fuck you" to CM Punk and Roman Reigns? That was never going to happen. They're not bringing him back to television. But what if Paul Heyman joins Seth Rollins? Now, that was something that I really wrapped my head around. Rollins, for weeks, has been kind of teasing what was going on. He has been. He told Paul Heyman, CM Punk is only using you. He came back to the WWE selfish after wanting to see this company burn down to the ground while he goes and wrestles for someone else, taking another billionaire's big, hefty paycheck. He comes back here. They give him another big, hefty paycheck. He comes back, he starts making orders and setting dreams and goals for himself. He does the bloodline a favor, but then he uses it as a way to take. He used you for a favor. Whatever the favor was back in November. He did it for himself. He didn't do it for you. He didn't go into War Games to do it for you or do it for Roman. He did it for himself. He's everything wrong about this company. He does not care about you. Paul Heyman wanted to make this favor to CM Punk. He even walked away from Roman Reigns. I owe him a favor. 15 years ago, I told him I would walk him into WrestleMania the day.
We are lovers of yarns. Where others see chores, we see a chance to.
Seth Rollins then told Paul Heyman about Roman Reigns. He doesn't care about you. You're a lad. He uses you. You mean nothing to him. The best thing for Paul Heyman to do is remove himself from the equation. How do we do that? He really put it into motion that Paul Heyman was being used by both CM Punk and Roman Reigns. He almost curb stomped Paul Heyman. Didn't. It said, I could have ended you right here, but now you owe me a favor. Friday night on SmackDown, last night, he came out. He sat with his legs crossed like CM Punk in the middle of the ring and cut his own pipe on. He mentioned things about this being the biggest triple threat match in the history of our industry. A triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania that will shape the future of this company forever. It's the most important triple threat match in the history of our business. Man, those are really heavy statements for a match where there's no championship opportunity on the line. The winner of this match does not get added to the night 2 main event. There's no championship on the line. He was really making these bold statements about this match, and it didn't really add up until everybody started mentioning, well, what if Rollins joins Heyman? What if Rollins walks away with Heyman? What if Rollins is the third man? The one thing that really threw me off on Friday Night SmackDown is that Rollins came out dressed very, very similar to The Rock. He came out wearing very Rock-like garments, Rock-like colors. He came out wearing a big gaudy Seth Rollins necklace, just blinged out in diamonds. What is going on with Seth Rollins? Is he foreshadowing something? Could he be foreshadowing this new movement? We come to tonight. We didn't see anything for the first 25 minutes. And within the last 5 minutes, everything broke down. Paul Heyman turns on CM Punk. Low blow to CM Punk. He hands a chair to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was going to deliver that shield shot to the back that Rollins has done to Reigns before, only for Paul Heyman to low blow Roman Reigns. He hands the chair to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins the match. Seth Rollins walks away with the wise man. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman are arm in arm. The prophecy of those that have willed this into existence indeed did just that. This was the cliffhanger that we needed coming out of night 1. The show could not have gone off the air with CM Punk winning and the crowd celebrating a babyface victory. Roman Reigns did not need a win at WrestleMania. He's had 10 of them. He doesn't need another W. Seth Rollins needed this. Seth Rollins needed this more than both of these guys. Not only because Rollins has been very giving, but Rollins and Punk have gone back and forth ever since CM Punk came back in the WWE, and it seemingly felt like CM Punk always had Seth Rollins' number. Tonight it was Rollins who had Punk's number. Tonight it's Rollins who stood tall. Tonight it was Rollins who deserved to stand tall. Everything that Rollins said about CM Punk and Roman Reigns and the things that he felt they did wrong, everything he said that was wrong with both of those guys, said it last night on Friday night, word for word. What if? Everything that Seth Rollins is blaming Reigns and Punk for, he finally understands what he needs to do to get ahead. He takes all the bad that they did, and he does that same exact thing to them. That's exactly what he did. Night 1 is the cliffhanger we so desperately needed. Night 2, Paul Heyman reveals that he was secret intel for The Rock. The third man will be Seth Rollins. John Cena, Seth Rollins, and The Rock will be the 3-man power trip that everybody was talking about in regards to what the number 3, The Rock, threw up. The Rock is going to help John Cena win the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins will be there. We are going to forge a new era in the WWE. A new era that CM Punk cannot forge ahead. A new era that Roman Reigns cannot forge ahead. A new era that The Rock is promising everybody. And Rollins is going to end up selling his soul. John Cena said it on SmackDown. I don't need to wrestle to beat you. Did John Cena even sell his soul? Everybody thinks John Cena sold his soul. Why? Because he turned heel? Maybe this is something John Cena wanted to do. Maybe he sold his soul. He stood outside the cage. It's because he didn't need to. Maybe it was Seth Rollins who sold his soul, and they kept it very tight-lipped for the last 8 weeks. I firmly believe Rollins is working in collusion with The Rock, and I do think the cliffhanger that we got tonight is directly going to affect night 2 of WrestleMania.
It had to be. You cannot go off of a simple, obvious babyface win with Cody Rhodes. It can't be a clean win. It has to be a fuck finish. Cody Rhodes cannot retain that title clean. He can't beat John Cena fair and square. That's gonna be lame and boring. That's gonna be really, that's it? What a waste with all this. Travis Scott will be there, I think. The Rock has to be there. Paul Heyman said they might be there. Cody Rhodes is gonna get screwed over because he broke The Rock's heart. The Rock gonna break his heart.
That was a tremendous end.
It was.
An ending that we so desperately needed. A match that we so desperately needed. On a WrestleMania card on night 1. Specifically talking about night 1. That felt very unlike WrestleMania. And you can't blame the fans who have been critical online about the way the show felt. Because it felt that way. And if a fan like me, who's been watching this shit since 4 years old, is telling you that it didn't feel like a WrestleMania, you can fucking guarantee you it didn't feel like a WrestleMania. It just missed that soul. It didn't have soul. It felt lifeless. It felt dead. There was no energy. WWE needs to realize that the amount of energy that they put into a story, the amount of energy they're going to get back. You can't rely on CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. They will deliver every single time, no matter what, because their equity is built up within the audience. You can't half-ass a story with The New Day, or half-ass a story with Jade Cargill, and half-ass a story with Rey Fenix, and half-ass a story with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, and then expect that same amount of energy back. What you put into it, you got to get back. WWE didn't put anything into most of the shit that they gave us tonight, and they gave you barely anything, and the crowd gave them barely anything in return. It works both ways. You can't skimp and then rely on your big hitters to save your show. It's WrestleMania. The amount of money that people are paying to sit there, every single one of these matches should have had the same feeling that the main event had, and it did. And that's where WWE fucks up. They're too heavy on living in the moment and creating a moment. What about creating moments? Why do we need a moment? Why can't we have 7 moments? I don't come to watch one match and enjoy one match, a moment here, a moment there, and then 3.5 hours of fucking barely anything. It's WrestleMania. It's the culmination of year. It was going to be a very memorable night, too. We're going to talk about this entire show from top to bottom. We're going to go over some of the important happenings that happened on the Countdown show. We'll talk about Jey Uso's World Heavyweight Championship victory. We'll talk about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. We'll talk LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. And we'll get into that tremendous main event tonight with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Triple threat match, which was fucking unbelievable. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys joining me here. Yes, it was.
All right. Reigns and CM Punk react to Paul Heyman. Is the press conference still on or is it over? Wait, it says it's still on. The press conference is still live for some reason. Hold on, I'm trying to see something.
I know it's gonna be hard.
God damn it. I'm trying to see. Apparently, the press conference is still on, so I'm gonna see who's on it. They said that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman will be on it. Must be a long press conference.
Go there and
We got Triple H in the press conference. I think about to end. Usually Triple H always end the press conference with this. Alright. That it? Or there's Jacob Font too. Wait, I already saw this. I guess we don't see Seth Rollins or Paul Heyman. Alright, I guess they're not on here. I thought they were. I could have sworn.
You thought the tribal chief would conquer this triple threat? Heyman with the low blow again. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman didn't even need to make eye contact. It was in the bag all along. Heyman turns on his quote-unquote best friend, his quote-unquote tribal chief, and in the end, Seth Rollins leads night one of WrestleMania with a stomp for the history books and a victory that he says now determines the future of the industry. Listen, obviously, we needed to show that part, but let's not forget, before that happened, we witnessed a 5-star match. It was the most believable match.
It was a great match.
Hey, did you find the
Okay, so I might as well stop the video. I think I made this long enough. I made it very long, like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I didn't think it would be this long, but there was a lot to talk about. Might as well just end the video. Unless there's any more from JD.
Happened on the pre-show, the countdown show. Triple H was on the countdown show, and a major
So for him, that's pretty cool. And I thought the match had the potential to be, pretty great. So they had a mariachi band dressed in the
WE umbrella. WWE announced the move at WrestleMania with the reveal of a Worlds Collide happening in June. Fightful reached out to Talon, who said there have been conversations,
Wait, hold on.
equipment, and the like for years. However, once the WWE TKO merger happened, there was a lot of discussion about the partnership being with WWE. There have been conversations between the two sides for quite some time. So this is not a deal that was done over the weekend. Those that we spoke to, say Fightful, two in WWE, said that while the acquisition itself was close to the vest, they believe it was finalized after the AEW and CMLL announcement that AEW will be doing Grand Slam at Arena Mexico in June. For those asking about the relationship between WWE and their champion, Triple H champion, the AAA Mega champion, Alberto Del Rio, for years WWE had given everyone a hard no on working with Del Rio. Del Rio himself would claim that conversations had taken place, but at points said he would never work with WWE again. Those close to Del Rio claim that he has said different and that the two sides had discussed possible appearances and that it was no longer contentious. Some talent in AAA were skeptical rather of the announcement, saying that it's hard for them to believe that the Roldan family would relinquish all power. Details of the acquisition are still few and far between. It was crazy that WWE on the countdown show had Triple H, Michael Cole, Mexican representatives for AAA. We had Stephanie Vaquer out there. Andrade was out there. Santos Escobar was out there. The LWO was out there. All of the Legado guys were out there. Penta was out there. Phoenix was out there. A lot of the Lucha Libre talent in WWE were out there. It was a very calculated announcement. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm over the moon excited about this. I'm not. I don't really understand why people are even up in arms about this. You get all of the fucking short-sighted people on social media. Oh, WWE is trying to monopolize this, and WWE wants to be the only game in town. I don't really understand why this is new information. Triple H is a McMahon. They have done this for decades. So why do you find this to be new now in 2025? Why are you surprised by this announcement? You have to understand that WWE wants to kill AEW in every sense of the word. They want to kill AEW. And Tony Khan has done himself no favors. Tony has wanted to poke the bear on multiple occasions, and WWE is not a bear to be fucked with, especially Nick Khan, Triple H, and TKO, who have a heavy hand in a lot of the Hollywood circles in and around Hollywood. You don't want to fuck with them. I would not be surprised. I'm making a prediction right now. You can quote me on this. You can cycle back to this at the end of the year. I'm making a prediction right now. WWE is going to own New Japan Pro Wrestling by the end of 2025, early 2026. I would not be surprised that there's a partnership there. WWE wants to own Mexico. They want to own New Japan. You think this is new information? Triple H gave you a glimpse of what his mindset was when he was leading NXT Black and Gold. There was a reason why he called everything takeover. He wanted a fucking performance center in every part of the globe. He wanted one in Japan. He wanted one in Mexico. He wanted one in Europe. He wanted one in India.
Get 4 weeks.
All right.
Different pockets of the globe when they can go out and buy a struggling AAA, who is a direct competition to Tony Khan and CMLL. Why do they need to put schools and gyms in different pockets of the globe when they can go buy New Japan Pro Wrestling? Why would they do that instead of just acquiring most of the international talent that Tony Khan has at his fingertips? What has AEW done for New Japan Pro Wrestling? Have they done anything for New Japan? Have they marketed New Japan? Have they let New Japan know that this is a partnership, a fruitful one at that? New Japan's not going to get anywhere with AEW as their partner. AEW is only sucking New Japan dry. He's already fucking rated them of all their top talent. So what do you think New Japan is going to do with AEW? Nothing. Tony Khan will end up buying New Japan, own the tape library because he's a fucking mark. New Japan can go and work with WWE, and New Japan could have that partnership, and they could be where they want to be in the years to come with the money that TKO has and the future that WWE has in the world of pro wrestling. As far as I'm concerned, AEW is not even going to be around after this this new contract that they have with Warner. 5 years. After the 5 years, you'd be lucky if there's even an AEW still in existence. Do I care about this move? No, I don't. I find it funny, if anything. To see Vikingo on WWE television at WrestleMania in a ring tonight, I find that funny. Because he was in one of the best main events that AEW's put on against Kenny Omega. He was a guy that they really wanted in AEW. That's not going to happen now, is it? Everybody seems to think that this is some big fucking deal, some big conspiracy. They're telling you what they're doing. They want all of the international talent so that AEW has no access to international talent. Plain and simple. They are cutting. Again, don't fuck with the bear. Tony Khan has all the money in the world. He's got all the resources in the world, but he doesn't have a fucking brain on how to use it. He doesn't have the team that WWE has. So when AAA looks at AEW and CMLL and the fact that Tony won't work with AAA because CMLL and AAA
want to for Saturday night's main event or some other show,
I think you can keep this gimmick going for a little while longer. Eventually, it'll wear itself out. But to, beat him on this show or have him unmasked on this show, why? Like, it's still so early in the angle. I mean, I'm amused by it.
New Japan shirt, fucking having a Saturday night at home, fucking playing with the Rubik's Cube. How can I figure out this puzzle on how to get New Japan Pro Wrestling when they're partnered with AEW right now? And the fact that New Japan Pro Wrestling is partnered with CMLL and they want nothing to do with AAA. One company's playing chess, the other company's playing checkers. This Worlds Collide show is very interesting. Look at all the Mexican talent that WWE has. They're going to get a bigger platform than any other time in their last 10 years with WWE leading the charge. Something that Tony has desperately wanted to do with his luchadors. And it's going to pale in comparison to what WWE is going to do. WWE, again, one company's playing chess and the other company's playing checkers. Everything that they do is calculated and malicious. AEW announces Arena Mexico. WWE says, all right.
Why do we yard? Why don't we take our days off? We want edges that are
Match at WrestleMania to his name. But El Grande Americano does. And so that's all it took. For him to actually win a match, all he had to do was change his name and put a mask on. And look at this. He finally got a win at WrestleMania. You do whatever you need to do. You do whatever it takes. Up to this point, though, this I thought was one of, if not the best thing on the show up to this point. And we had Shawn Michaels, who they said they couldn't understand why he or how he was even able to stand up straight, because it was a late Hall of Fame last night, and then this afternoon they had NXT to get ready for, and that show went live at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So there he was again, Shawn Michaels, past his bedtime, but he walked out onto the stage, and he had a card in his hand that he was going to read from, and the camera was able to show what was written on the card, and they had the attendance. He was coming out to announce the attendance for the show, and it was written down on the card in like black marker in like the biggest letters possible to make it as easy as possible for him to just glance down in case he forgot what the number was and just read the attendance. But he came out and announced that they had 61,467 people in Allegiant Stadium, and they claimed that it was a sellout, which I don't believe it really was.
I don't
It was
either.
close. Whatever they were set up for, they were close. Was it a legitimate sellout? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
But anyway, he was gone as quickly as he came out.
It's the amazing
Yes, Ricky. It was NXT started at 10.
Yeah, with Lyra finding a new partner. Now, obviously, the one partner that makes sense and the one partner that it will be Becky Lynch. We saw Becky Lynch at the Hall of Fame on Friday night, and Becky Lynch said that she will be back soon. She will be back integrated in WWE very soon. Lyra and Becky will be going after the tag team championships against Liv and Raquel. So my question is, and pardon me if I'm making too much sense here, or pardon me, I should say, if I'm critiquing the product and asking a very logical question. WWE thinks so lowly of Bayley that their plans with Bayley and Roxanne Perez, which were clearly going to happen because we saw that much on television, they think so lowly of Bayley that the original plan of Bayley and Roxanne were dropped for Bayley to go team with Lyra for the tag team championships. And their plan, because they dropped Bayley and Roxanne, their plan was for Bayley to get this match, get to Vegas, get to WrestleMania, and then get attacked the day before the match actually happens, and she's written out of the show on night 2. So WWE wrote Bayley out of a Roxanne storyline, or into a story where she would be attacked the day before the match on WrestleMania weekend, only to then get replaced by Becky Lynch. I don't know on what planet you think that A is right, B, that makes any sense, and C, why you think us fans look at that head on and would agree to something like that. Why the disrespect to Bayley? She's not Becky Lynch. But why the disrespect to Bayley, who's been doing some solid work for the last 2 months? Bayley and Lyra were doing solid work. No, you're not good enough. We're going to go Becky Lynch. She's the bigger performer. She's going to get the bigger pop, and it's going to make the match a little bit more meaningful. Sorry, Pam. Maybe next year. How the fuck does that make any sense whatsoever?
Exactly, I'm pissed. That makes no goddamn sense. You kind of buried Bailey. After all the work he did last year with Damage Control and the storylines he had with Io, her getting her moment at WrestleMania last year, to only be screwed like that, now she's not on the card.
Then you got people talking on social media because Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, tweeted at Bayley with a phone emoji, a money emoji, a finger emoji, insinuating, call me. What? Because you don't like Bayley, she deserves to not be on the WrestleMania card after she clearly was written into the WrestleMania card in a match, in a story, even at a tag team partner, who she wrestled one-on-one and wrestled in a gauntlet match 5 times. Now, because you don't like Bayley, fuck Bayley, she sucks. She doesn't belong to WrestleMania. Becky's better, man. You people are fucking retarded. Just awful. Awful, awful, awful way to look at it. It's bad creative. I didn't like that. That match is happening on night 2. Those are the big 2 news stories coming out of night 1. WrestleMania night 1. The set. Let me talk about this set. Top 3 set of all time.
I agree.
WWE went and spared no expense for the WrestleMania set. I thought that the set looked fucking phenomenal.
Me too. I thought it was the best set ever.
Thought this set was easily top 3. I know a lot of people are going to look at the WrestleMania Orlando set with the roller coaster, and I know a lot of people are going to be looking at, New Orleans was a great set. Even last year's set was, a lot of people's favorites. The New York set, when they were at MetLife Stadium for 35. This is a top 3 set WrestleMania all time. The set looked fucking phenomenal, man. They had the casino-like structure. They had multiple different screens. They had this spiraling light fixture above the ring. And when things actually started to get sundown in the arena, because you got Allegiant Stadium with all the glass around the top portion of the stadium.
Google still tracks you in incognito mode. Use DuckDuckGo, a real private browser.
Have a great match. What kind of in-ring chemistry would these two have? This is a very important match for Tiffany Stratton, not for Charlotte. Charlotte's been here a million times. Charlotte's
for a good casino-like vibe. So it might not be in your top 3. It's definitely in my top 3. I thought the stage looked fucking phenomenal. WWE spared no expense tonight on the WrestleMania set. We start things off with Jey Uso and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. The World Heavyweight Championship is opening night 1 of the show. I don't think people had a problem with this. I don't. It was not going to main event. It was never scheduled to main event. It didn't belong to the main event. Open of the show. Right place for it. A lot of people, man, there are a lot of miserable people online. And for all the people that say I'm miserable, everybody who tweeted me tonight was far more miserable than I could ever be. I do this for a living. I'm allowed to be miserable.
I think I made this long enough. I think I should stop the video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. It was a very long. I mean, all your members, how great this ending was. The ending, the shock value, and the crowd to be. Now, while in Penn and Wayne is off a storyline, Seth Rollins, as I said earlier, Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns every time they're in the ring. Seth Rollins owned Roman Reigns. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the video right here.
People let their feelings, their genuine emotions.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video. Until that time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
We believed him for a little bit, right? We all thought to ourselves, what if Punk is the cancer? We know that she needs to get over, or she needs to adapt to new different styles to go with the injuries that she's been receiving. Just a little bit. She's not.
Looking back at that,
This was be a classic, or we've seen Charlotte have great matches on the show before with Rhea Ripley and with Asuka and different people, and that's not what this was. So I didn't think much of the match, honestly, but at the same time, I could recognize that for Tiffany, that went
idea, I don't know on what fucking planet you people think that this story went off as good as it should or ended as good as it should. You should be fucking ashamed that they did this one thing in this match and thought, that's it, that's the moment. I've been watching wrestling way too long, man, to know that the moment could have been so much better than what WWE gave us. Gave Jey Uso and gave Gunther. This match went 17 minutes. Much longer than their 3 previous efforts. Jey comes out, he's all glittery.
Give you. I hate that mascot, but it was a gritty match.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the video. I'll see y'all later. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I will be back with night 2 tomorrow night. We will go to that. Hopefully I'll make it too long. I think I will.